pelvis. This is a practice for lengthening the inner line of the leg and opening the outer hips. To start with, let's take a comfortable seat. We're going to move right into practice with a couple of warm-up poses. So take your feet right together. Baddha Konasana, press the mounds of your toes together. Interlace your hands around your feet, pull back with your hands and lift up through your chest. Start to find your breath here. And bring any amount of softening and release into your inner leg. So let your outer knees sink towards the floor. Continue to pull with the hands. Lift up through the front of your spine. And take another full deep breath. Release your hands from your feet. Take your left hand out to the side. Take your right hand to your inner right knee. And then you just lean to the left, nudge with your right hand, lengthen the inner line of your right leg as you open up more through the outer right waist and hip. You may like to roll your right shoulder back a little bit. Take one more breath. Slide the right inner leg away from you. And then change to the other side. Come on up, set your right hand out to the side, left hand to the inner left leg. As you lean over to the right, just slide, nudge your left inner leg away from you. For me, this brings length into the whole side panel, outer hip, inner leg area. It's pretty tasty. And again, you might roll your left shoulder back a little bit. Lean more to the right. Breathe, breathe, breathe. And then come on back to the center. You can draw your legs right together. Wrap your arms around your legs if you don't have a giant baby belly in the way. And then release. From here, we'll come to lie on the left side. Now, if you have access to a strap, go ahead and grab your strap here. If you don't have access to a strap, you can always pause and grab like a men's necktie or a belt or a long sock. You can also potentially just use your hand. So, come to lie on your left side. Slide your left arm out long so that you can rest your head in your left hand. And then get yourself into a side lying Tadasana. So take a look down your body. Line up your heels with your hips, with your shoulders. If you feel balanced enough, you can take your top hand, to your right hand in this case, to the top of your outer hip, and then find your balance. Gather your abdominal muscles in towards the front of your spine. And you can use your right hand to help manually draw your right leg into the tree pose. Now, I like to keep a hold of my ankle here. It's one half of the Baddha Konasana, so that same action of softening the inner leg to move your right knee back towards the right. And then depending on your range of motion, you may be able to just loop your first two fingers around your right big toe like so, or you take your strap loop around your right foot. I'm going to keep my knee bent, draw the right knee in towards the outer right shoulder, and take your right leg back a little bit. Bottom leg, the left leg, is still in Tadasana. Press out through the left heel. Flex your left toes. Keeping the right leg back, extend through the right leg straight. Reach your right heel up, Anantasana. Flex right toes. Squeeze your right kneecap towards your thigh. The tendency here is to roll back towards the outer left hip. Instead of rolling back, see if you can roll your weight a little bit more forward. At the same time, take your right leg a little bit back and really release, unlock that inner leg. Last 2 breaths. And then release. Step your right leg back on your left leg, pause. And then you could just roll through your back over to the right hand side. I'm going to get up, swap over so that you can see me. Come to lie on the right side. Bring your head into your left hand, and again, line up your heels with your hips, with your shoulders. Flex your toes. If you need your left hand for balance, you could take your left hand out to the floor in front of you, or if you feel well balanced, your hand can rest on your hip. Once more, gather your abdominal muscles in. And then manually assist, pull your left leg in through pose, Vrikshasana. Once more, keep a hold of your ankle. You can push back a little bit with your left hand. Reach your left knee up toward the ceiling. Keep that down leg, it's the right leg in this case, active. So push through the right heel, flex right toes. Go ahead and grab your strap. If you need it, loop your loop around your left foot, and then we start with a bent left knee. So organizing first, pull your knee in close to your shoulder, press your arm against your inner leg, and bring your left leg a little bit back. So already creating that space in the inner left thigh. Take 2 more breaths here. Actively push out through the right heel. Maybe already rolling weight into the front of the right hip as you slowly extend your left leg straight on Anantasana. Push up through the left heel. Flex your left toes strongly toward the top of your shin, and then squeeze your left thigh firm. So drive your kneecap up towards your thigh. Find your breath. And then once more, try not to roll weight back. Instead, roll your weight a little bit forward and take your leg back. And then release. Take your left leg down. Just pause for a moment on the right side. And from here, you can crawl around onto your hands and your knees. We'll pass through a downward facing dog on our way up to stand. Plant your hands well, hands as wide as your mat, index fingers point straight ahead, and then curl toes under, press back, downward facing dog. Go ahead and grab a hold of the sides of the mat, so literally clasp onto your mat. Pull your mat forward, lift your heels up high, stick your sitting bones way up in the air. Take the tops of your shoulders away from your ears. Once more, lift up your sitting bones, and then keeping your hips high, shoulders out of your ears, start to lower your heels down towards the floor. Really stretch your calves, stretch your Achilles tendons, hammies, the whole back of the leg lengthens. Strongly engage your quads, pull your kneecaps to your thighs. And then drop, release through the back of your head. And then from here, release your mat, walk your hands back to your feet. Little bend in your knees, hands to your hips, come all the way up to stand. Super. Come to the center of your mat. Find your Tadasana. So all 10 of your toes point straight ahead. Root your heels, spread your toes, stand up nice and tall. From here, we're gonna hop or step the feet wide. So if you're hopping, bend your knees, take your fingertips together, big wide hop. You can step out as wide as well. Check out your distance. So you want your ankles essentially to be in the same plane as your wrists. That's sort of a good rule of thumb. And then here, take your hands to your hips. Turn your right toes all the way to the right. Turn your left toes in 45 degrees. Draw your whole torso to the left. And then bend your right knee deeply. Warrior two. All right, really press down through the right heel. Press down through the left heel as well. Straighten your left leg as much as you can and slice your left thigh back. Take a look at your right knee. You want to steer your right knee towards your right pinky toe. Now, both legs active. Hug your outer right hip in and then stretch your arms out. Nice deep seat on the right. Breathe fully. And then take your hands to your hips. Straighten your right leg. Let's just swap over to the other side. Turn your left toes out. Turn your right toes in. Once more, before you bend the left knee, draw your whole torso to the right. Take an inhale in preparation. Exhale, bend left knee. Sit nice and deep. Spike that left heel down. I like to try to wiggle my left toes to make sure I'm not scrunching the mat with my foot. Then pin your outer right heel down and slice your right thigh back. Keeping strong right leg, check out your left knee. Steer your left knee any amount towards your left pinky toe. And then left outer hip actively hugs in. Once the legs are organized, the arms are just the cherry on top. Stretch your arms out wide. Reach through your fingertips. Sit low in your left thigh. And take your hands to your hips. Turn your left toes forward. Heel toe your feet a little bit closer together. If you hopped in, take your fingertips together, bend your knees, and then hop together, Tadasana. All right, pause briefly here. Drive your heels down, lift through your torso. Next standing pose is triangle pose, Trikonasana. Once more, take your fingertips together, bend your knees. You can hop or step. Nice wide stance. I prefer triangle pose with a block. So I have a block handy. If you don't have a block, no problem. You can just place your hand onto your shin. Turn your right toes all the way to the right. Turn your left toes in 45 degrees. I'm going to set my block outside my right shin. Now, straighten your right leg. Take a look at your right knee and make sure it's not sagging to the left or to the right. Essentially, the right knee points toward your second and third toes. Then, zip up your right leg. Once more, pin your outer left heel down. Stretch your arms out wide. Take an inhale to prepare. As you exhale, deep side bend to the right. I'm going to reach, 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 reach. When I can't possibly reach anymore, then I take the hand to the block or to the shin and take the left arm up. All right, so actively focus on your legs. Just as in the Virabhadrasana 2, slice your left thigh back. I like to put a little bend in the knee, roll the outer heel down, and then press the thigh bone back. Squeeze left kneecap to thigh. Pull your abdominal muscles in and actively rotate your torso from the right to the left. You just keep your soft eyes pointing straight ahead. That's a safe position for your neck. If you get any neck strain, especially on the left, you can look down towards your foot. Breathe with fullness. Then, firm both of your legs, reach with your left arm, take your block with you, rise, 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 come on up. Let's do side 2. Flip all 10 of your toes. Turn your left toes out, turn your right toes in. Set your block outside your shin. Stretch your arms out wide. Now, organize your legs. Check out your left kneecap, point it towards second and third toe. Roll your outer right heel down towards the floor. Firm your legs, reach to the left, tip, reach, 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 reach. I can't go any further. Now, left hand to the block, right arm up. Press down with your left toe mount. Strongly pull your kneecap to your thigh. Straighten your left leg. Find that little bend action in the right knee. Roll your outer heel down and then actively push, reach, send the right thigh bone back. Now, over firm legs, rotate the torso to the right. Stretch your right arm up. Find a comfortable setting for your head and your neck. Firm your legs. Pull with your top hand. Bring your butt with you. Inhale, rise, rise, rise. Turn your 10 toes straight ahead. Heel toe in a bit and hop or step your feet together. Next set of standing poses. Parsvanasana into Ardha Chandrasana. Once more, we hop or step the feet wide. Turn your right toes out. Turn your left toes in. If you're using your block, set your block outside your right foot. Stretch your arms out wide. And bend your right knee. So Warrior 2 is the foundational pose of the Parsvanasana. From your Warrior 2, tip and reach. Lean, lean, lean to the right. Take your hand to your block. This time, take your left hand to your hip. Take a moment. Roll your torso up toward the ceiling. Pull your top shoulder back. Lean back. You want to stay in this general formation in your torso as you look down. Heel toe your back foot in a little bit. Stretch your block out in front of you. Squeeze your back leg as you float your left leg up. Keep strong, active outer hip. Straighten right leg. And once more, spin your torso from the right to the left. If you feel well balanced, you can stretch your left arm up. When you come out, do so slowly, with control. Bend your right knee, stretch your left leg back. I try to land in a soft Parsvanasana. Pull with your left arm, come on up. Turn your 10 toes straight ahead, pause. Side 2, left toes out, right toes in. Set your block outside your left foot. Stretch your arms out broad. Inhale, lift your spine. Exhale, bend your left knee. Lean to the left. Reach, 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 reach. Take your left hand to your block. Take your right hand to your hip. Now, if you've got fingertips on the floor, that's okay. You're just going to be in a much deeper shape than I'm showing here. Take a moment to roll your top chest open. Lean a little bit back. To come into Ardha Chandrasana, look down. Heel toe your back foot in a little bit. Shorten your stance. Stretch your block out in front of you. Shift weight into your left leg. Squeeze your right outer hip and float your left leg up. Standing leg super strong. Once more, lift your right leg a little bit higher from the power in your right outer hip. And if you feel well balanced, stretch your top arm up. Rotate torso from the left to the right. When it's time to make your exit, with control, super slow, bend the left knee, stretch your right leg back, so slow. Land in the Parsvanasana, and then top arm up, reach, pull, rise. Heel toe in a bit, hop or step, and take a moment, pause, Tadasana. It should feel nice to bring your legs back together after all of that big opening work. Find your breath. Stand nice and tall. And let's come to sit. We'll close with a couple seated postures. Take your legs out wide. I like to bring my heels right to the front corners of the mat. Now, if that's too wide for you, not quite accessible, you might be a little bit closer together. Take your fingertips behind you. I come onto my fingertips, push my fingertips down, lift through the chest. So roll your shoulders back. Flex your feet a lot. Send your thigh bones down and reach out through your heels. This might be the end of the line. This is a lot of intensity in the inner leg for many people. If you feel like you have more range of motion, you can start by slowly walking your hands out in front of you. Test the waters. Make sure your toes don't dump in as you fold forward. So keep your toes pointing straight up in the air. Walk your hands out and you mount. Some of you in the flexi camp will be able to potentially bring your forearms to the floor or your head to a block. If you have a big round baby belly, you will just pause where you are and find your breath. Take one more, two more breaths here. And then walk your hands back. Lift your torso up. Keep your right leg out long to the right. Pull your left heel in close to your right sitting bone. Once more, depending on your range of motion, you might just take your hand to the floor. Some of you might be able to take your elbow to the floor or your elbow to a block. I like to go elbow to a block, head in my hand. Then, as I lean towards the outstretched leg, I'm once more rotating my top shoulder back. Actively stretch your left arm up. Keep your right toes pulling back toward the top of your shin. You're welcome to stay right here, or for a little bit more side lengthening, turn your palm towards your right toes and stretch your left arm overhead. Perfect Jani Shirshasana. Super deep side bend, hip opener, hamstring lengthener, inner thigh extender. It's got it all. Continue to spin your chest open. Breathe into your top side lung. In order to come out, stretch your left arm up. Pull with your left arm, rise, 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 come up and out of your pose. And then swap your legs over. Take your left leg out wide. Pull your right leg in. Right heel comes close to your left sitting bone. Set up your block if you used one on side one. And then lean to the left. Take your elbow to a block or your elbow to the floor or your hand to the floor. Potentially rest your head in your left hand. Now, flex left toes, drag out through the left heel, and stretch your right arm up. Take your right arm back a little bit as you rotate your top chest open. Once more, you can stay right here, actively stretching up through the right fingers, or spin your right palm towards your left toes, stretch your right arm over your left ear. Take another breath. Reach from the right sitting bone through your right fingertips. And then pull with the right arm. Inhale, draw yourself up, 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 up. From here, just fold your left leg in. Pause for a moment, cross-legged. Let's do a bit of counter posing before we take Shavasana. So come to lie on your back. Have your knees bent. Cross your right knee over your left knee, like the beginning stages of the Gomukhasana. And then you're going to isometrically drag your legs against one another. So pull your right leg to the right, pull your left leg to the left. Bringing some engagement back into the inner leg and the outer hip. Press your back of your pelvis down into the floor, and again, pull your legs against one another. Keep that strong pulling action. And then you can swap left leg on top. Cross left knee over the right knee. Pull your left leg left, pull your right leg right. You'll feel your legs pushing, pulling against one another. It creates tone in the muscles of the legs and the hips. Should feel pretty nice as a release. And then from here, uncross your knees. Heel toe your feet as wide as your mat and just let your knees knock together. You might take your arms to drape loosely over your head. And this will be your final counter pose before you take Shavasana. So spend a few more breaths here, maybe even a few more moments here, and then when you're ready, you'll stretch your legs out long. Take your arms by your sides with your palms to face up, and prepare yourself to rest deeply.